Ladies and gentlemen, another season, another whole bunch of leaks. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, basically every time they add a big update into the game, basically what I mean by that is one that you actually have to go and download, not just a small playlist update. The things that are added into the game aren't just limited to the things that we see. They add a bunch of files behind the scene, they add a bunch of characters, weapons, and things like that to make the future updates a little bit easier on the developers. So every single season, we get a bunch of new things coming throughout that season, and even coming later that are kind of unexplained but in the game files. So what people do is they data mine all of these files, mainly on PC, and find what's coming next, what is in the game files. So that is what this video is all about. We've dove into this many times in the past, but this one to me is probably the most confusing for one reason and one reason alone, and it's the person who is in the thumbnail of this video, Soap Mactavish. He's now in the game files, which is incredibly weird, and throughout this video, we are going to talk about why it's incredibly weird. On top of that, new game modes for Warzone, map updates for Warzone, and a whole bunch of other really big stuff coming to the game, which is odd because we're only like a month and a half away from the launch of Black Ops Cold War. So we're going to talk about all of that in this video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let's jump right in to the leaks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with probably the biggest and by far the most confusing leak of all of them that we're going to be talking about today, and that is what you saw in the thumbnail, Soap Mactavish. Now, it has been rumored since the launch of Modern Warfare that Soap Mactavish would be coming to the game. At the very end of the game, we get a cut scene where Captain Price is talking about Task Force 141 and putting the team together, in which he mentions his name.
John Mactavish, SAS, sniper, demolitions, goes by Soap.
Why?
It's classified.
Now, first of all, I've never pointed this out before, but I do think it's hilarious how Captain Price says that his name being Soap is classified, even though Laswell is technically Captain Price's superior officer. I always thought that was funny. But the important part about this is until Season 6, it has never been established that there was any game files whatsoever of Soap Mactavish in the game. Not any character models, not any voice lines, but that all changed with the launch of Season 6. All of a sudden, there are character models, there are voice lines for Soap Mactavish. They're there now, they're in the game. But here's the weird part. We already know that the first two characters within Season 6 are Nikolai and, of course, Farah. And we saw with promotional material, it appears as though the third, coming in the mid-season, is going to be Griggs. So there is no room for Soap to be a part of Season 6. So your immediate next assumption is that, okay, Soap will just be in Season 7. But that also doesn't make any sense. Now, I need to explain this. So the reason why I say that doesn't make any sense is because by the time Season 7 starts, Black Ops Cold War is already going to be released. It's going to be out, and there is going to be some sort of battle pass for that game. Now, I doubt the battle pass will actually launch right away with the game, but probably a month or so after launch. Now, the thing that we know is that they have already told us that through Warzone, zombies, and multiplayer, you can level up your battle pass all at the same time together, just like you can in Modern Warfare. Now, if that is the case, the battle pass that you'll level up by playing Warzone is, of course, the Black Ops Cold War battle pass. Now, if they release Soap in another battle pass in Modern Warfare, will that one only be able to be leveled up through Modern Warfare? To me, that doesn't really make any sense. Now, there are two other options that do make sense to me. The first of which is that the battle pass that comes out in Black Ops Cold War will be for both games. It'll be for Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War. Some of the characters will only be available in Modern Warfare and Warzone, like Soap Mactavish, and some of them will only be available in Black Ops Cold War. That is kind of one option. The battle pass is actually going to be a joint battle pass between Modern Warfare and between Black Ops. One, I think that's an interesting option, something we, of course, have never seen before, but is also pretty confusing at the same time. Our second option is that they will slowly be releasing content into Modern Warfare in not necessarily the same way that they have before with Battle Pass and Seasons, just kind of random drops throughout periods of time. Now, the weird part of that one to me is that Soap Mactavish is one of the largest characters ever in Call of Duty. Personally, he's one of my favorite characters, probably right behind Alex Mason. So to me, it would be pretty odd if they just kind of released him as a one-off character and not a part of an overarching season or an overarching story. So to answer the question, I don't know when he's being added. I don't know how he's being added, but he is now in the game files. I know that was a tall drink of water to quench very little thirst, but at the same time, I just wanted all of the information out there because, just so you know, it's just as confusing for me as it probably is for you guys. So now that that's out of the way, the other things that we know are coming soon. First of all, we talked about Griggs earlier, but there's also another weapon that actually wasn't on the roadmap, which I found a little bit confusing. They showed off the butterfly knife on the roadmap. However, there's also an AA-12 that's being added that you can actually see in the Season 6 trailer. It's actually Zane gets out of the train, and he's actually firing away the AA-12. So we know that that's coming. That'll probably be at the mid-season, around October 20th, when the Haunting of Verdansk is added in. Don't worry, we'll talk about that more in a second. Now, before we talk about the Haunting of Verdansk, the other really strange part of these leaks is Alcatraz. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about leaks for Season 6. This has actually been in the game for a while, but Alcatraz is actually in the Warzone files. Now, if you don't remember, Blackout had an alternate map called Alcatraz where you could spawn in multiple different times. Very fast-paced battle royale map, and I actually really enjoyed playing this map. Now, in the files for Modern Warfare, keep in mind, I can't show you any of this because it is leaked, it is copyrighted, but I have seen it. If you Google it, you can find it. Alcatraz has a brand new skin. It's kind of during the day, almost at sunset. There's a bunch of Russian propaganda throughout the image, but it is very clearly the dock side of the map at Alcatraz. Now, the weird part about this is they haven't mentioned another map being added, and the only time I could think that it would make sense for them to add it to Warzone was or is with the release of Black Ops Cold War. So the question I have here is Alcatraz going to be coming back? Is that the version of the Black Ops Cold War Warzone kind of version that they're making, or are they having a separate Verdansk map, an Alcatraz map? I don't know. This is very confusing, just as, if not more confusing, than the whole soap thing that we talked about before. Now, moving into the Haunting of Verdansk. This is some of the more immediate stuff, things that are going to be happening within Season 6. So first of all, we know we are getting a night version of the Warzone or Verdansk map. We know that this is coming. This was in the Season 6 trailer, and there's also a whole bunch of different night modes that are going to be coming with this as well. These have been found in the game files. There is images of them. So the first one is 50v50 night mode, rather straightforward. We've already had this. We know it's coming. Also, mini Royale night mode, battle royale night mode. All of these are already game modes that we have, and they're just putting them on the night version of the map. The other one that was kind of a surprise to me is Juggernaut Royale night mode. So the same Juggernaut Royale that we know, but it's on the night map. And of course, the biggest one, the one that a lot of people are looking forward to, is Zombies Royale. So this is the one that's kind of like Infected, where at the beginning of the game, there'll be an infected that spawns, and when you die, you then become a zombie. Now, there is also a rumor, and apparently this has been found in the files, that if you are a zombie and you kill a human, and then, I guess, eat their brains, you then become a human once again. It's kind of like your way of respawning, and then the last person alive that's not a zombie wins the game. It's a very strange mode. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays, but other games have done it. We saw it, I believe, in Blackout did it. On top of that, Fortnite has done it, so it makes sense for them to do it in this as well, and it also makes sense that on October 20th, that is when this is going to be happening. Now, in the future, I'll probably do a separate video just on the Haunting of Verdansk and what is actually going to be happening with that update. But to me, this is something that's really cool and something that I hope that they do more with Black Ops Cold War seasonal events, whether that be Christmas, Easter, or just specific times of the year. And that is something that they did in Blackout in Black Ops 4. So this is basically everything that we know so far. Some of the leaks are incredibly strange, like Soap and Alcatraz. I don't know how they're going to fit. This whole crossover between the Black Ops universe and Modern Warfare universe has never happened before in Call of Duty, and it's all because we have the Activision accounts now. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see how this works going forward. And of course, as we learn more and more information, I will keep you guys updated. So as always, if you did enjoy this video, if you found it useful as to knowing what is coming next, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. Let me know what you think of all of this down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are rich. reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I want